What's up guys, welcome to DOOZS Nerd Haven, and if you didn't know, a few weeks ago we got an amazing 10 minutes of gameplay for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 that inspired me to share with you guys everything I want from the game based off of the trailer and just some speculations I have about the mechanics and the plot of the game. By the time this video releases, we may have gotten some big story trailer or details that completely debunk my entire wish list, but I thought it would still be cool to show all of you my ideas. Before we get into the video, make sure to like the video if you like the video, and subscribe for more videos like this. And now, here's my wish list for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. First, I'm going to be talking about a big part of the first game, and something that for me just made the entire experience better. The suits, and which ones I want in the game. A lot of people have talked about this subject in their videos, so I wanted to put out some of the more unique ones that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about. If you have any ideas of suits Insomniac should feature in their game, comment down below. When a lab accident granted Spider-Man the Unipower, his costume was cosmically changed into the Captain Universe outfit by the Unipower. I'm not going to be talking much about the Unipower because I could make an entire video about that on its own. But this form gave him incredibly enhanced senses, strength, speed, flight, and a new costume and limited telekinesis. Other than the suit just looking cool, this could also grant you some really cool suit powers. Next up is the streaming suit, which is in some new comics where Spider-Man streams some of his fights. Now, I'm not exactly sure of why he does that. Who knows what's going on in the comics right now. But I just thought it looked cool and it could be a nice addition to the game. So for a while in the comics, Dr. Octopus took over Spider-Man's body, and because he was dying from some sort of disease. But during that time, he made his own suit, and depending on what Sony and Insomniac has planned for the third game, I think that this suit would look awesome. Ben Reilly, a clone from Spider-Man, is mostly known for his appearance as Scarlet Spider, which is the suit that we got in the first game, but he has recently, I don't know how recently, got a new suit that is a really cool design choice and I think could work really well in this game. So I know Sony does not own the rights to Spectacular Spider-Man, and this might not be able to work, but if you've watched this channel or even looked at my profile picture, you would know I'm a huge fan of the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, so it would be really cool to see him in this video game. So if you didn't know, the real OG live-action Spider-Man was a TV series that was made in Japan, and I thought that it would open the door for some really cool suit powers, like maybe one where you basically just like turn it into this huge robot thingy that he has. Obviously like toned down a little bit to fit with the dynamics of the game, but I just thought it would be cool. In Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, there's this character called Spider-Man India that I thought was funny, and I think his suit is very unique and it could work in the game. So now comes the ending swing scene suit, which is just perfect. Okay, so now comes the symbiote suit. So I hear a lot of people saying that they would like to have a symbiote variation of every single suit in the game, but I don't know if that would really work because not every suit has a symbiote variation to go along with it. So I just wanted to pitch some suits that could actually work as a symbiote suit in the game. So if you've seen some mods before the actual trailer for this game came out, we got a black suit version of the advanced suit that I think looked awesome and could actually work as a regular suit in the game. In the Spectacular Spider-Man show, for a few episodes, Peter was wearing the symbiote suit, and I think the animators absolutely nailed the suit in this show. Tobey Maguire's symbiote suit, because why not? So once again, this completely depends on what Sony and Insomniac want to do with the third game, but I think an Agent Venom suit could work really well. And if you don't know what the Agent Venom suit is, it's basically when S.H.I.E.L.D. gets its hand on the symbiote and learns how to control it and use it for good, and they give it to a current agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash Thompson, who was Peter's school bully, but they ended up settling it, and Flash Thompson is now one of Peter's best friends and Agent Venom. So in the 2017 Spider-Man TV series, Max Modell made an artificial version of the symbiote, which, putting aside all of the TV show's flaws, looked pretty cool and could, once again, work in the game. In the 90s animated series, Spider-Man had the symbiote for a while. So now here are some honorable mentions for some Miles Morales suits. Miles Morales' new suit in the comics, Spider-Verse hoodie suit, Champion sweater suit, Shadow Spider suit, Alternate Universe suit, Cowboy suit, Marvel Action homemade suit, and spoilers for Across the Spider-Verse, you can probably skip 20 seconds ahead and I'll be past this. In Across the Spider-Verse, there's an awesome suit where Miles Morales is wearing the Prowler's suit, and it works really well, and I think it would be awesome for this game. So it seems like we already have this in the game, but something that I've been wanting is something called parries, where you have to block one of their attacks at just the right amount of time, which will set them off balance so that you can attack them. It's a small thing, but something that makes it even more interactive and fun. Probably my main nitpick with the first game was how you could select your gadgets and how hard that was to do in the middle of a fight. You would have to hold in one button, use one button to select one, press one button and let go of the other button, and then let go of all of the other ones. You had to do that in the middle of a fight. Now, it worked for what it was, but I feel like in this new game, they could probably do that better. And once again, it seems like they are doing that, because if you look in the bottom right of the gameplay, it seems like there's some sort of gadget select, where it kind of works like Miles' Venom Blast, where you can just hold in something, push a button, and then it turns into that gadget, which I think works really well. So this is once again probably just a nitpick that I have, but I feel like the boss fights could be a little bit more creative. Most of them are just you web up the bad guy and then you go in and you start punching them. And there are also some pretty cool ones, but I feel like with some of these villains you could do stuff that's really cool, like Mysterio or maybe the symbiote in a Scorpion type boss fight. So I'm not going to be giving you guys a full pitch of what I want the story to be in this game, but I will be telling you the villains that I think should be featured and why they should be there. Spider-Man's police friend, Yuri Watanabe, will be seen as an anti-hero vigilante in the second game based on the trailer, and she takes up the character of Wraith like in the comics, and it seems she will be fighting with Peter Parker in the game. The first game shows how Mysterio is a recurring villain for Spider-Man, so he may be showing up as either one of the villains Wraith is hunting or a beginning villain like Kingpin from the first game that kicks off the story. The sequel game should also feature the Black Cat, who is seemingly hiding for some time. The cat may engage in some minor harmless cat burglaries or maybe mess with Spider-Man to, I guess, relive the old days. The Taskmaster was one of the numerous challenges in the game for players, and this side mission ended up in a boss fight with the mercenary. After his defeat, Taskmaster revealed being hired by a mysterious organization. They might return in the sequel and bring back the Taskmaster. In the earlier game, it was shown that Dr. Curtis Connors became the Lizard but was cured by Spider-Man. However, in my story for the sequel, Connors was using an enhanced version of this serum to help cure him and his son of a disease that Devil's Breath gave them. Tests the serum on himself and becomes a bigger form of the Lizard. Spider-Man is seen in the trailer tracking him down. Though the earlier trailer only had Kraven the Hunter's voice, the villain has finally revealed himself in the game, taking the route for New York City as his new hunting ground. While the Sinister Six are imprisoned in the raft, the Shocker is seen free in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 trailer. The story of his escape might be told in the game, and in my plot, Norman Osborn hires Shocker to get the symbiote suit off of Spider-Man, and it will create a parallel to that one scene from the 90s animated series.
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker!
In the first game, it was shown that a black goo was attached to Harry at the end part, and it can only be the symbiote, which will end up leading to Venom. So I've heard a lot of people talking about how Peter should be Venom, or maybe even Eddie Brock, and I guess Eddie Brock could work if they developed the character enough, but I think Harry Osborn could really work as Venom. I know it's a bit predictable, but it creates a really cool dynamic between Peter and Harry being best friends, having to end up fighting each other. And also, in the end, it could lead Harry to die, setting up Green Goblin for the third game. After his defeat in the first game, the villain was imprisoned somewhere but not at the raft. Peter Parker had originally defeated him by creating a counter drug to neutralize his power. Hence, it would be interesting to see how he manages to prove to be a threat. The Chameleon was hinted to be a threat to Spider-Man in the past and is also the half-brother of one of the main villains in this game, Kraven, so it would be interesting to see a mission where we could possibly see him doing some low-level crimes that we have to solve, or where we could see how he's been maybe working with Kraven during the main story. In Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Aaron Davis, aka the Prowler, was caught by the police. However, it seems he has managed to escape prison or just get out. He has sported his Prowler costume and is doing crimes once again, and it seems to be one of Miles' side quests in the game. I'm not sure if this would exactly fit into the plot they have for the game, but it would be cool to see Kingpin return, trying to rise up back in the criminal underworld. In this first game, we were introduced to Morgan Michaels, who played a very large part in the game. In his character bio, Peter talks about how he seemed very ill, with dark circles under his eyes and pale skin. This is all hinting towards Michael possibly having side effects from one of the experiments he did with Osborn that would turn him into Morbius, starring in a side mission in this game, or once again playing a part in the main story. Okay, so now last but not least is the free roam. So up first is an updated map. I remember the first time I played this game, I really wanted to be able to launch myself across the harbor and go to the Statue of Liberty, or go across the bridge and be able to go to Brooklyn. And in this game, it seems like we're going to be able to do that. We got a little hint at what Queens is going to look like, which opens up the door to more possibilities like Brooklyn. So I know most of the time in this game, we're going to be swapping between Miles and Peter based on what serves this story, right? Which I think is a pretty good idea. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm one of the people that wasn't really sure how I felt about there being a co-op in the game. I kind of like it being a little bit more of a single player, but that's an entirely different subject. Once you finish the game, I think you should be able to regularly just switch between Miles and Peter and play as different characters. So the add-ons, the web swinging in this game look absolutely amazing, and things that I've wanted for a while. The slingshot is something I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about, but something that I would have definitely put on this wish list. Same thing with the gliding with the web wings. But another thing that I thought would be cool to add on to the web swinging, and this is a little bit much to ask because, I mean, if the web swinging is just like the first game or in Spider-Man Miles Morales, I really won't mind, because the web swinging in those games are awesome. But I think it would be cool if we could have different settings, which means different control over the web swinging. What I mean by that is maybe there is the lowest section where it's just like the first game, you just hold in a button and you basically just keep going. And then in the most controllable setting, you can pick where the weapon goes, like Fortnite, and be able to really stylize that and make it your own. Also, another thing is, I think with the new PS5 controllers, there's a lot of potential with the triggers and how you swing. So in the first game, in Free Roam, we had a crime system that notified us when there was a crime and what it was, which I think worked really well. But I feel like if they have that same crime system in this game, I feel like I'm gonna get a little tired of that same animation of Spider-Man stopping that car. So I thought of a few ideas that they could add to update the crime system. First of all are fires. There is a part in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game. Yes, that game has its flaws, but this part was pretty cool, where you would go through this fire saving people and bringing them to safety, which I think is a pretty cool idea. And then another one, I know we kind of got this in the first game, but maybe some sort of kidnapping where we actually have to track where the kidnapper went and then find them and then have to beat them, or maybe like a gang. And then another one is maybe some sort of home robbery where we have to go into the home and stop the robber. Now this last one is just a small thing, but I feel like there's no reason to have the mini-map in the bottom right of your screen. It doesn't really serve any purpose except for those secret photo things that they had in that game where you could only see them through the mini-map. But other than that, I don't really think it's needed in the game. And with that comes the end of my wish list. Comment below what your wish list would be and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you next time on DOOZS Nerd Haven. Bye.